Hello, welcome to Sabretooth at Nethemba, where we care about your security. Try Help Me Tuesday. Again, I'm still working ahead for when I'm away next week. So I'm just trying to get as many boxes done as I can in advance so that I don't have to worry about it whilst I'm away, and then I can do some harder ones when I get back. I'm not reading any of this description because I took a quick look and it said walkthrough on exploiting, and that's as far as I got. I was like, it's going to tell me exactly what it is, isn't it? So this is Kenobi. I'm not reading anything. I think if I go too far down, there's going to be some answer the questions below. Yeah, okay, fine. So I'm stuck between here and here. Oh, and even that, it says, I've just read that this room will cover accessing a samba. So there's SMB. I don't like that the hints aren't. They should be spoiled, you know, like on Reddit and stuff like that. So the samba, I know that. But nothing else. So I guess the first thing we'll do is access the samba. We've got this. We've got this. Like I mean, it should be mentioned once somewhere and then never again, but it's mentioned like 3 times here or something. Whatever. Trying to do with no spoilers, it's pretty much impossible sometimes. We'll run an mmap scan, T5 being the fastest, most aggressive scan, and I mean, you know, it's fast scan. It's gonna. Oh god, we've got a lot of open ports here. SSH HTTP looks good. RPC bind, yeah, and Samba obviously, and NFS as well. Oh. Okay, so we're going to run this again with all ports, aggressive scan. So it should run a few scripts. Speaking of which, I could, with there being so many things like RPC bind and SMB and stuff, maybe I should run some mmap scripts on this. I don't know. I'll get the output of this one for our notes. Right now, I'm immediately going for Samba because I know about it. I should do. Oh, hang on. See what we've got here. Let's see what we've got here. So we've got a robots.txt with admin.html. Lovely stuff. That's on the web page. RPC bind. I see. So combined to NFS. Right. Then we've got Samba, which we know about. There's the NFS there. NetBIOS name. I'd be interested to run a few scripts, mmap scripts, and see what happens. Let's get rid of the A flag, and we're going to go script. Should we just try running all of them and see what happens? That might not be good. Not running you to this, not running you to this, need this, need this, need this. Right, fair enough. We'll just run everything else and see what actually works and what doesn't. I don't normally do like all scripts, but there's just so many things like Samba and NFS and RPC bind and stuff. It makes sense to do it. In the meantime, we're going to take a look at the web, because although I know that Samba is a thing, I may as well do this as if I was doing it without that knowledge, you know? Okay, we know that there's admin HTML in the robot, so we'll do that. Yeah, okay, thank you. Admiral Akbar, lovely. So I'm not sure whether this is going to have anything interesting, but we'll run a Go Buster as we normally do. Let's do it. Gob. There we go. So U for the URL, W for the word list, and 30 threads, and we're going to run this and just see if it comes up with anything. If not, we're going to look at the what else is there? Look into the SMB, I guess. Now, how's this one doing? We don't know yet. Hang on. Oh my god. Okay. So we're 75% done on the script, so we've got 25 seconds left. That might not be a bad thing. Whilst we're here, Oh god. Okay, let's not. Too many threads. So let's kill the threads, and we're just going to run that without. It's because the scan's running as well, probably. But we'll see. This is... remaining time is going up. Well done, guys. Fantastic. Not much to be doing unless I want to check out the SMB and so on. We can try that. We need the IP, not the HTTP in there. So we could do SMB clients. L and do that. So password for sabretooth, we don't know it. Okay, so anonymous access is allowed, and there's an anonymous share as well, which is good. Okay, that's fine. This, yeah. This, nope. So we will try that with anonymous. So there's log.txt. We're going to get log.txt. Cool. So that we have. So we have anon on SMB. And then I suppose we should just cat that out. Okay, nice. So we have some log, believe it or not. Huh. Okay, so there's a SSH key there. Pro FTPD, there isn't an FTP open. No, at least not on port 21. Port 21 wasn't open. Huh. I'll have to double check that. Got Samba as well. Okay, so we've got some config things here. Samba and FTP. Don't think there's anything else. Windbind. We don't have any credentials in here, as far as I can see. Well, we might have. I did pretty much just rattle through it, but not that I can see straight off. User Kenobi group Kenobi. What is it with FTP then? Why is that FTP brute? What? Hang on. What happened? Port 21. Ha! FTP is now open. It might have just taken a while. Huh. Okay, right. So, log.txt contains I need to put down about the SSH key here. And I'll put down that as well. So, with FTP mentioned, we scan that port again. And we get, in fact, let us do this with service detection. Whoops. Pro FTP 135. Huh. Nice. So we've got another port to add to our list. Now that it's up, This is why some systems say, like, please leave it 3 or 4 minutes before scanning and stuff like that. Right. Fine. Let us head back to our initial scan. FTP brute. This is now 77%. I'm not sure whether to wait for this or not. That's not good. That's my home IP. That's my home network. We don't want that. You know who my ISP is now. Okay. I probably shouldn't have done this with all of the... So if we know FTP is there, anonymous access, let's take a look. Whoops. Send your complete email address as your password. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll do that and just put x@x.com. Really? So anonymous login is not okay. Huh. Is it not? Anonymous. Weird. Very, very weird. Let's do a search exploit on, what is it, Pro FTP D. I think 135. There are a few there, I can see them, but if I put in 135, then we can, there we go. So mod copy, remote command execution. So is mod copy enabled? Let's take a look back in this. Will it tell us here? Well, I'll tell you what, let's do that again, and we're going to grep mod copy mod. That's just mode. Okay, so we don't know if mod copy is available due to the log. File copy. So we've got the Metasploit one, which might be a good try. We've also got file copy here. But let's go for Metasploit straight off, because why not? If it's there, you may as well use it. If you're doing OSCP and that and you're not allowed to use Metasploit, then obviously you'll need to try some of these other exploits here. There's also a file copy, which is just a text file, so that might show us how to do it. We might give that a go as well. But we'll try mod copy first and see. What's this one called? Mod copy command execution. So we're going to search mod copy, which is here. We're going to use 0. We're going to show options, and you can see that straight off we have we just need the R host filling in. These are all done. I assume that's okay. So we need our L host and we need R host, and so we're going to set R host to the IP address, which is here, and we're going to set L host. I think we can just do like ~0. So it sets our IP address there, so it saves us having to look up our IP all the time, and then we can exploit and see what happens. Okay, so it's connected to FTP server. How did it do that? Interesting, I couldn't. Failure copying payload to website path directory not writable. Okay, so if the directory is not writable, it might be in var www html instead of var www. So we're going to set site path var www html is quite a common one, so we'll try that. Still not. Okay. Fine. Okay, so that doesn't work. Interesting enough. That doesn't come up with anything. Interesting enough. Right. So in that case, we'll exit out of MSF. I think if the Metasploit version of that exploit doesn't work, then there's probably no point in trying the other one. 81% done. That's still going. Right, so I've lost my search exploit, so I'll do that again. Pro FTPD 135. So let's do that with a www, and we're going to check out file copy down here, see what this one is. Okay, so this talks about being able to copy from, like, copy a file from the system using site copy from and site copy to. Allows these commands to be used by unauthenticated clients. Wow. Interesting. I'll keep that open. I don't know how to use it yet, but that could be quite interesting if we haven't got access to FTP. So let's do this. No anon access to FTP. But there is this, which works unauthenticated. I just don't know how to use it yet. You know what I could do, actually? I've just thought what I could do. What if this is var www.html, this website, let me think this through. Right, okay, I've got an idea. Right, let's go to FTP, and then we put in the IP address, which is here, without that. So it says login failed, and we now go to this. If we do site help, nice, this does work. So we can, so we can do site copy from. Let's copy from, let's copy this SSH private key. And we're going to see if we can copy it to the web root. Okay, so site copy to var www html id rsa. Permission denied. So let's do it without the sequence command. So it's copy from first, copy to, permission denied. Oh, this is not good. I think this is the right idea. I just don't know how to copy it to the web root. We've not got permissions to do it. Can I copy it to the anonymous share where the log file is? I probably, If I, okay, this is dumb. What we got here, reverse index. It really hasn't come up with anything, has it? Not great. I just don't know where the share is based. let's have a look. Wait, so log.txt, yeah, but I don't know where that is. Okay, can we print working directory? That's not good. What if we exit and go back to this? Yeah, it doesn't actually show us the actual path. Is there a way to see the path? Message host IP address. Port. Socket resolve max protocol net BIOS. User work group. Machine pass. I can't see anything here which what if there's something else though which we've not looked at yet? For example, we know that there's an FS, right? Do we use RPC bind for that or just connect directly to NFS? Let's try RPC bind. I generally don't. I actually really don't, so I'm not quite sure how to connect to RPC bind. RPC info, is it? Yeah, 111. There we go. Nice. So I think it's just that. And there's enum as well. I'm not sure if that's native. It is. So let's put in the IP here. Ugh. Okay, RPC info, port mapper, NFS. Fine. Let's try RPC enum. No, I didn't think that one was. I can't really say. I'm too short at the minute. There must be something I'm missing. Sorry, there must be something I'm missing. Sorry, when I'm thinking, I've got my hand in my mouth. What if we do nmap again? Just on port 111. And now run a few scripts. Script equals NFS. There is a mount. Okay, so we should be able to connect to var using that. Okay. Intriguing. So I'm going to have to mount that. Right. We can use RPC bind to connect, well, to mount var, apparently. So I think I just need to use mount. What is it? Mount, and then is it the R flag? Let's have a look. Mount help. Is it the R flag that I'm thinking of? No, R is read only. It's a capital R. R bind. That could be the one. I don't know what's in there. I don't know if... Okay, let's try it. So let's mount. Do we need the R bind? Let's do mount NFS. Can't find in thingy stab. Okay. Stab. Thingy's tab. what's our IP address for the system here? Mount NFS there. We're just going to mount var, and we're basically going to mount it what, here? Oh, that's a long. Can I just do a dot here? Stuff. Bad usage. Let's put it in mounts then. Stuff. Let's do a capital R here. Bad usage. Let's do read only then. Bad usage. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on here at all. Unless I need to put a slash at the end of that. Right. I need to look up how to use mount, apparently. I thought I knew, but obviously I don't, so I'm just going to mess around with this and I'll be back soon. Weird. I use mount all the time. What's going on? I've just thought, you know, I'm using sudo because I'm trying to do it in the really don't need read only. I'm trying to do it in the mount thing, but maybe that has to exist first. What if I make directory var it's not var, is it? It's mount stuff. If I do that, permission denied. Still bad usage. Okay, so we could remove. I don't know. Don't know what I'm missing, guys. Okay, so option, source, target, directory. Source directory. I got it the wrong way around. No, source and then directory. What if I get rid of NFS here? Huh. I thought it needed, I thought it needed it, but it doesn't. What if I now ls mount stuff? Oh my god, as if that worked. Okay, well, color means I've always put the, huh? Maybe not. Maybe not. I thought I needed it there. So I've not put it as read only or anything like that. If we do lsl mounts, we'll see that a lot of these have got like full write access, like crash and temp and run and lock. A lot of these, they don't have write access, but they do have read access. So we could choose one like run, or we could choose one like temp, or something like that. Can't use www. I wonder what's in there, actually. Oh yeah, so there's the admin.html, there's the index.html, robots.txt. There could be something here. I think the easiest thing now is to look in, for example, we'll use, it doesn't matter what we use, crash, it doesn't matter what we use. Mount crash. Mount stuff crash. Okay, so there's nothing in there, but now we can go back to this FTP. Here we go. And we can copy from there. Fine. Copy from here. and then site copy to let's put it in crash. Permission denied. But I thought that would work. Oh, or is it in, it's in var crash, isn't it? Copy successful. Right. I see. So now there it is. There it is. Right, fantastic. So let's just go through what we've just done. We figured out that certain directories are writable. I'm just going to put crash is writable. So now we use the FTP exploit that we were just talking about. And what we did is we copied the SSH key, which was shown to us in that log file. What am I doing? Where are we? I can't find it, guys. What have I done? Am I going mad? Where is it? There it is. Okay, and then so we do this and we copy it, and it says copy successful. We copy the SSH key. Cope. And this one is really complicated for an easy box. What am I doing wrong? I mean, it's ridiculous. What are we doing now? Here. So what we'll do is we're going to copy mount stuff crash ID RSA. Going to copy it right here. Nice. Nice. So our mount, did we set the mount already? Yes, we did. Here. Okay, that's good. Right. Hopefully at this point we can literally just do cat ID RSA and get the private key, which is perfect. It's what we need. Now we've got to crack an RSA password, SSH password. Right. chmod 600 on ID RSA, so it works. And then SSH ID RSA. I think the user was Kenobi at whatever this IP address is. Talk about doing things complicated way around. Ah, no password needed. Finally! God, that took ages. I'm an idiot, guys. Just tired, I think. So many boxes in such a short time. Right, here we have it. Access to the system. Let's get this flag. Cat user.txt, and there it is. It's good that we've got a fully functional shell. Right, I want to shut down quite a lot of what I've done already. So we're going to exit from the FTP. We're actually going to close that off. We can umount mnt what was it called stuff, operation not permitted. Fine, so that's unmounted now. That's gone. We don't need this anymore. We can keep that. We don't need this anymore. And these are all blank. So let me just open a few more. And I would say that can move to the end. Right, access to the system. Lovely, lovely stuff. Who am I? We know who we are. ID, we know that. Groups. LP admin, LXD, sudo. But we don't know the user's password, do we? Okay. So I think at this point, and we've got the share as well. Log.txt. Lovely. Right. So what I could have done, if I had known that was the location, I could have copied the RSA key to home Kenobi share and then got it from the FTP instead. But I didn't know that location. That's what I was trying to find out. So I had to do it that awkward way, I guess. So let's get some limpies now. I fancy something a bit easier for the end. We're going to cd into probesk scripts. Sudo python 3 mhttp server 80 and this and oh that was wrong. Go again. Nice. So we're going to wget whatever my IP is. Right, okay. Just a case of waiting at this point and seeing what this comes up with. This is tiring, man. Yeah, we know we're part of the sudo. We know we're part of the LXD. I did notice that as well. But we're going to keep checking. Not much I can do with those right this second. It's going to take a while. I'm going to close this and I'll be back when this is done. Okay, this is finished and I'm back. I've not had a look through it yet, but I shall. I'm going from the bottom upwards because it's easier. This is where I'm at. There's a lot of backup things here. Let me just quickly check we are actually recording, which we are. That's good. So we have files inside others' homes. That's fine. We know about those. Nothing interesting here. Bash history, user.txt. Keyrings, okay. Samba shares, yay. Ooh, look at this. So files with capabilities. We've got a lot of capabilities for snap confine here. So we'll make a note of that because it's red and yellow. Limpies shows. Definitely make a note of that. That's likely the way in, but we're going to keep looking anyway because it's worthwhile doing. Mount at sudo. We've got an unknown suid binary here. I don't know the menu program. That'll be intriguing to look at one way or another. What else do we have? Samba stuff. We don't care about that anymore. We're already in the system. Unless it's a vulnerable version of Samba. I'm an idiot. Okay, so these are the SSH keys, public and private, and there's two private because I copied it, if you remember. Yeah, part of the sudo group, don't care. Part of the LXD group, don't care. Nothing interesting there. Now, the problem with the capability is seeing that it's part of Snap. Path abuses. Huh. Hang on a second. Right, I'll go back to that train of thought in a second. Right, we're back there. So it looks for things in home Kenobi bin before anything else. I was going to say the problem with Snap is that generally you're going to have to be root in order to run it in the first place. But I mean, if it's got capabilities. Now this though, if we look at user bin menu, ooh, status check, kernel version if config. Okay, got status check. Kernel version if config. Right. It's obviously just running, like, for example, uname for this, and it's just running if config for this, because I can do the same. Look, if config, I can run uname or uname a or whatever, right? Right. If it strings, if it's not got the fully qualified path for these, which it hasn't, it's just running curl, not bin curl, and it's not running like bin uname or whatever. Look, if config, if I go for locate if config, okay, I'll do it on my system. So it's in user sbin if config. That's the full path, right? But here it's not using the full path. So what it's doing instead is, let me just find this and put it in my list here. What it's going to do instead is going to look for if config, firstly in home Kenobi bin, and secondly in home Kenobi local bin, and thirdly in here, and fourthly in here, until it eventually finds it. But the fact that that order, no full path, so we can hijack. So let's say that it's in, what was it in on mine? In mine it was user sbin if config, right? So what it does, it checks for if config. It checks for if config, firstly here, and it doesn't find it. So then it goes to here, and it doesn't find it. And then it goes to here, and it doesn't find it. And eventually it will find it in sbin or in bin or something like that, right? But what if we make our own here in this location? In which case it will find ours before it finds it, the legitimate program elsewhere, right? This is why you need the fully qualified paths. So we hijack. Okay. We know that the first thing in the path is home Kenobi bin, right? And if we print working directory and we do an ls, there is no bin thing here, so we'll make directory bin. And if we go into there and we do a print working directory, we are in home Kenobi bin, and that's the first place it's going to look for if config, right? Nice. So make directory bin. And what we're going to do is nano if config. We don't even have to do that actually. We can just copy bin bash here. And we rename bash to if config. So now when we run this, it will find our, basically it's going to spawn a new bash shell, and because it's a SUID, SUID, it will run with writes, I think. Let's have a look. Bin menu. I can't remember what it was. Can't remember the name of the app. User bin menu. Who am I? User bin menu. And then we've got to run number 3 for it to try and find if config. Who am I? Root. So it's found our if config, thought it was, yeah, it's the first one it found, and it ran it, and then immediately it gave us root access. We are going to cat root.text, and that's us done here. Piece of cake, guys. That was quite an easy route. A little bit, I was going to say a little bit tricky getting into the system. It wasn't. I was just faffing about and didn't know my commands. But really, you know, just using a well-documented FTP exploit, you know, to move something from a, you know, into a share or whatever. It wasn't that bad, actually. Right, let's do this. I don't think there's any way to... I can read this now. What does it say? Exploiting a Linux machine. Enumerate Samba for shares. Manipulate a vulnerable version of Pro FTPD and escalate your privilege with path variable manipulation. Okay. Fair enough. And then it says exactly this. And it even mentions the SUID binary here. Okay, fine. So this one we actually have to... How many ports are open? I don't know. I haven't got a clue. 1, 2, 3... 3 and then FTP as well. So let's go for 4, shall we? No, 3, 5. Six, I don't know. Maybe it didn't pick them all up, you see, so there we go. There's apparently 7. Pass. So enumerating Samba for shares. Oh, it shows you how to do everything. Oh, I was right in using the scripts, but I wasn't using these particular ones. Okay. This is a walkthrough box, but thankfully I didn't have to do that. So using the nmap, how many shares have been found? Just 3 for the FTP, right? Because there was anonymous, then there's print and C or something like that. And then this one, what is the file? You can see, I think it was log.txt from what I remember. And then FTP is running on 21. Are you doing all right? What mount can we see? And that is var. So at least I'm doing it the right way. Okay. What is the version? 135. Did it not just say that up here? Maybe not. I thought it did. That was 135. How many exploits are there for Pro FTP? 4. There was the Metasploit 1, 2 manual, and the text file, right? Yeah. Nice. Fine. Fine. Okay. So I'm just checking something. I'm just checking something for like shares and stuff. Because when it was talking about var, yeah, maybe not. Don't mind me then. I was just being an idiot. I've been saying that a lot today. I should stop saying that. And people have got mad at me for that. I was like, stop saying you're an idiot. You're not an idiot. And I don't mean anything by it. It's just a way for me to justify me making mistakes. And I know that everybody does make mistakes, right? But it's just self-deprecating. Oh, I'm just stupid. I know I'm not stupid, guys, but I'm also not amazingly clever either. You know, I'm just somebody who has experience in what they do. I still make mistakes, but you know, I don't mean anything by it, so don't get mad at me, guys. What file looks out of the ordinary? Using find I didn't do that. I used limpies. What was it? User bin menu. Run the binary, 3 options appear. And then it starts talking about without a full path. So we've done that. And then what is the root flag? Nice, okay. Yeah, I don't mean anything by it, so I don't need to hear it anymore, guys. Maybe I'll stop saying it if I can. It's become a habit at this point. A little bit harder than I thought it might be. Do you know what? This isn't done. What am I missing? Oh, that's wrong. How many options appear? 3. I was right. There we go. Thank you for joining and putting up with me, making mistakes. It happens to us all. But I should have, you know. The thing is, look, FTP, not a problem. I know how to deal with that. Samba, not a problem. RPC bind, I've probably used, last time I used that was when I was doing OSCP, and I'm talking like 2017 now. So 8 years ago. No wonder I don't remember things. It's not I don't know it. Please share the video around, share the playlist around if you can. Visit Nethemba.com for all your pen testing needs. I'm going to have a nap. Bye, guys.